Welcome to Viral Flash News. Today, we bring you three major stories. A pivotal phone call between President Trump and Vladimir Putin that could reshape Europe, a strategic shift in U.S. foreign policy with potential impacts on China, and a tragic gas explosion at a busy mall in Taiwan. For President Vladimir Putin, one phone call marked a turning point as powerful as any battle in his three-year war. In a lengthy call on Wednesday, President Trump delivered a message that encapsulated Putin's vision that Russia and the United States should negotiate Ukraine's fate directly and address broader global issues together.
This call signaled that despite early failures in Ukraine, Putin might still emerge with a redrawn map of Europe and expanded influence, a clear challenge to Western isolation.
The call coincided with Trump's defense secretary declaring the U.S. would not support Ukraine's NATO ambitions, and with the Senate confirming Tulsi Gabbard as National Intelligence Director, reinforcing a shift in diplomatic strategy.
Russian commentators celebrated the call as breaking the West's blockade, with markets reacting positively, evidenced by a surge in the ruble and stock indices reaching new highs.
Analysts suggest that while Trump appears focused on ending hostilities, Putin is pushing for a broader agreement to limit NATO and reshape Eastern Europe, a high-stakes bet in global politics. Our second story examines the evolving U.S. approach to ending the war in Ukraine, as President Trump's administration appears willing to accept key Kremlin demands, such as preventing Ukraine from rejoining NATO or reverting to its pre-2014 borders.
This shift is accompanied by a strategic reorientation toward the Indo-Pacific. U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth recently emphasized that U.S. security must now prioritize border defense and deterring China.
The pivot from a European focus has raised concerns in Beijing, with some fearing that Moscow might lean closer to Washington, thereby undermining China's influence in the region.
Meanwhile, Chinese officials are watching these developments closely as they aim to expand their influence in the South China Sea and assert control over Taiwan, where the U.S. remains a critical arms supplier.
Analysts believe that Trump's new posture could recalibrate U.S. foreign policy, shifting global power balances and challenging China's ambitions in the Indo-Pacific region. Our final story takes us to Taichung City, Taiwan, where a devastating gas explosion tore through the food court of a busy shopping mall on Thursday morning, claiming at least 4 lives and injuring 26 people.
The blast occurred on the 12th floor of the Shinkong Mitsukoshi department store, triggering an immediate response from emergency services, with over 130 firefighters and 50 rescue vehicles dispatched to the scene.
Authorities suspect that ongoing construction work on the building may have contributed to the explosion, raising serious concerns over building safety and regulatory oversight in Taiwan.
Officials and community leaders are now calling for a thorough investigation, as families of the victims and survivors await medical treatment and support, while the local community reels in shock.
This tragic incident has sparked urgent questions about infrastructure safety across the region, highlighting the need for stricter regulations and better emergency preparedness.
That wraps up our update on today's major global developments. We hope you found these insights informative and engaging.
Please subscribe and like for more powerful updates from Viral Flash News.